Okay, gang, moving on to week 7. Okay, I hope you've seen so far that we've got a nice blend of natural movements that are increasingly more diverse. So we're getting a lot more new positions in there, but also we're getting some consistency in there. Because ultimately we need both, okay, throughout our week, whether it be through warm-ups, through ground movement in the morning, through after your training sessions or before them, or just following along with me. We want to be able to get breadth and depth in our practice. Okay, it's going to be way more important to get both of those factors to make meaningful progress than it is to get one of those factors. Like, I wouldn't want you just to do 3 positions until they're like really, really flexible, because at that point, there's still a lot of other things that are missing. And likewise, I wouldn't want you to do so much variety that you're never improving these positions. So we need a little bit of both all the time. Okay, with that said, we'll go ahead and get started. So cross-sit position to start, a couple breaths. Okay, let's pull our center of gravity over our base of support. Think about the back of our body touching the wall as much as possible. Okay, and just take some breaths here. Take 3 breaths. From here, let's come into bent sit. Again, a wider stance is going to probably be more accessible and comfortable for many. You feel this like you're really in your upper back, widen out your stance a bit. Okay, pull yourself into position and breathe. Okay, let's post behind us and let's practice some tripod transitions, nice and slow and smooth, alternating sides. Let's do 3 per side. Okay, just by reaching behind us, this is a new pattern for many of you. Lots of benefits there. Let's do some scooting forward. So again, I'm going to, instead of with my legs, I'm going to focus on extending through my arms, and then just changing my hand and foot position, extending through my arms, and then working backward. Pushing into the ground, fingers point away from each other. Okay, let's do our long sit, just scooting our hips forward a little bit and then go backward. Open sit, crawling forward, breathing and opening. Okay, I'm pushing myself forward, forcing my knees open. Okay, in a way that's also sort of gentle. Okay, pull the feet in, push yourself back, getting the strength to pull your feet in toward each other. Okay, side bent sit, lifting up to kneeling and back down. Let's do 3 reps on one side. Just breathing. Okay, windshield wiper the legs and do the other side. Okay, let's come to an open long sit position. Reach forward and breathe. Keeping as much length in our spine as possible at first. Pressing the backs of the knees into the ground and then reach forward as far as possible. You'll notice that I'm not like split flexible, meaning just reach to one side and just breathe. Not like you're actually reaching for something. But from the natural perspective, if the movement doesn't have a purpose, we don't spend a lot of time doing it. Okay, good. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to come into a deep squat and we're going to stand up. Okay? So we're going to practice some stepping under and over patterns. We're going to, for illustrative purposes, I'll show you over here. Okay, what we're going to do is face sideways and just lift up and open as we go over one side and then the other. Okay, and then we're going to also be going under, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's do some stepping over first. Just lift your leg up, clear the imaginary obstacle. Lift your other leg up, clear the imaginary obstacle. Go back and forth. That's 1. Let's just do 2. Slow and controlled. Bottom leg is nice and strong and stable. Working out a little bit of balance here. Okay, and then let's do some stepping under. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend like there's an object right here, about hip level. I'm going to reach, I'm going to lean away, reach my foot under it, so my center of gravity is now under the object. Okay, hip hinge, move my body in a semicircle, and then step past the object. Okay, so Reach and step. Okay, opening up the whole groin area. Getting deep into your hinge. Emulating a movement where we'd be stepping under something practical. Always giving us a reason to work on our mobility. So ultimately mobility is our ability to actually move through the world. One last one here. Okay, good. Let's set our position on the wall for a couple breaths. Okay, so mid-back, back of the shoulders, hips, back of the head, and breathe. 3 breaths here. And sweep the arms. Let's actually, instead of sweeping the arms straight overhead, let's reach them sideways and up. If they come off the wall a little, I'd rather them do that than your torso compensate. Just come to wherever you feel resistance and stop and breathe. The shoulders rise naturally, as they should, when you reach overhead. Sometimes with each breath, you'll find a little more space. Just make sure it's not coming from the wrong area. Bring the arms down. Front hang position, again, consistency here. Working on ribs down. Now we got some traction in our arms. Let's take 3 breaths. Now let's go side to side for 10. 8, 9, 10. Should be feeling nice and loose by now. Okay, let's do our front hang. 2 breaths on each side. Switch grip. Awesome. Okay, what I want you guys to do is we did a deep squat hold last time. This time we're going to come down into our deep squat. Okay, we're going to put our hands onto the ground, jump our feet together. We're going to do a flex foot deep kneeling hold this time. So just breathing, hanging out here. Okay, we can roll our toes out, our heels out to get to more of our smaller toes, and then press them together to get into our bigger toes. Just get some movement here. Think about your spinal positioning. With spinal positioning, the reason we set this position is it's optimal to move here. Doesn't mean we should always be perfectly neutral. There may be purposes for us to flex our spine. We should be able to do that. Go ahead and try it. Give your toes a break for a second. See if you can touch your nose right toward your knees. Okay, and we should be able to also arch our back. So instead of, again, just going to the lower back, think about distributing the arch over your whole back. You can even rotate and reach left and right. You should be able to bend all different directions. Just reach and explore for a minute. In natural movement, we always ask, why can't you do a particular movement? If you can't do a movement, that's what we want to work on, not necessarily if a movement is bad or good. All these different movements are good and bad. Are all good. As long as we don't just do one exclusively. That's one of the issues. Okay, let's come to a nice open wide sit. Hold one foot in. Push yourself up. Other side, fold the foot in. Push yourself up. One more time per side. Thinking I should be at a balance here and stand up if needed. In complex environments, okay, you end up in split stances, needing to find balance. It's important to have these skills. Finish in your cross-sit position with your nice tall alignment. 3 breaths. Tuning into your body. Starting to find a groove and comfort in your practice. Maybe even practicing some of these movements outside. That's it for this week. Thanks, guys. See you next week.